So much good songs out there, and I've been listening to some fan recommendations these days, and crazy. Please send me. I would love to.
Of course, we have Arman Malik, Amal Malik, a whole lot of singers. I'm sure it would be fun to see you and them collaborate as well.
For all film-related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. You're the man they call the genius singer-songwriter. So how does it go, Junny?
Very good. Thank you so much. It was Puja, right? Puja?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I am Junny. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I've just kind of been, working on my album so long that it's kind of awkward for me to talk in front of a camera again.
It's been my pleasure, and I've heard your songs and I'm a fan. So, it's my pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you. Great. Genius singer-songwriter, that's, wow, I'm very, that's a big title, but thank you. Thank you so much.
That's what you're known as, so get used to that, as they say.
Sorry?
I said, so get used to being called the genius singer-songwriter.
I can never get used to that. Come on, who's gonna get But gotta keep working hard. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, and your album is called Blanc. I kind of like the titles of your singles and your, nice. And Blanc is something that I totally relate to because I'm blank most of the time. So tell me a bit about Blanc.
Tell me about it. I'm literally, if I'm not working on a song, I'm out of here. Like, I'm zoned out. So I'm just similar to you. But yeah, this album is called Blanc for many reasons, but one of them, most importantly, is because I wanted to talk about myself. And I'm that kind of person. I'm someone who is an empty canvas, blank, literally. And meeting new people like you as well. Like, I get to, fill my blank canvas with a certain color. And it's another expression of, being, having an experience. And this whole thing right now in front of a camera, doing this interview with you, it's an experience. So thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure, as I said. And I want to speak about nostalgia also, your collaboration with JB. It's something we need during these times. And as I said, I resonate with it because, as the lines go, inside a small drawer mixed up with fragments of the past, there lie a small dried up piece of memory that I have been unable to unlock. And that's me. I hoard memories. I'm the kind who has concert tickets, old letters, old pictures. So how did this come about?
That's exactly how it came out. Literally, I have a little treasure chest box that I brought from Canada, being from Canada, and I brought it with me. And one day I was, just looking for like a certain key or something like that. And I opened up the drawer, and there were things that I totally forgot about. There's things that were really important to me at that time. And it just bring so much nostalgia, and the whole, everything, all the experiences, the feeling that I got from that just totally got me to think, wow, I want to write a song about this. And this song should really just talk about how I feel right now, missing home, being nostalgic, and everything just came from just opening that small drawer. And I had to include this in the lyrics as well. So that's how it came to be.
I totally get the vibe. And also it's a second collaboration with JB because you've collaborated before.
Yes.
You two are in sync, literally in sync, is it?
I'm grateful that someone, as great as, he's one of the greatest, artists here, and he was able to just work with me without hesitation. I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, I was able to work with him on a collaboration album with my offshore crew members, and also work on his album as well. Able to feature on it and able to write a song for him too, which was great. And this was my first time asking him. I was like, "Hyung," which means older brother in Korean. "Hyung, would you mind featuring on the song for me? It's very personal. It talks about how I miss home." And he was like, "Of course, let me listen to it." And I sent it over, and within 10 minutes he was like, "I'm in. I love this song. The song's so good, and I feel like it would be a great match for us to work together on this." And yeah, he was just super nice. And shout out to JB. Yes.
And as you talk about home, and also the fact is what struck me about your music is also about you can't be restricted to a genre. You basically draw from different musical cultures, and you know, left Korea to move to Canada, and you came back home. So when was that eureka moment when you decided, hey, I want to be a musician? And I can feel that in your music. It draws from a lot of your sensibilities.
Wow, really? That's awesome to hear. I mean, that's one of my main goals when I put out music of my own. I want people to feel that way, and I want people to feel what I've been through. And just, I guess somehow that type of emotion just somehow printed into my songs, and I'm super happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Yeah, what got me into just pursuing music, definitely just having great parents of mine who were supporting me, whatever I wanted to do. I did choose this career path a little late, to be honest. You see a lot of kids who are into music already in middle school or in high school, and they go that route. But for me, it was more of end of high school year when I was becoming a senior. I realized, man, all I had with me my whole life was enjoying singing and enjoying listening to music. And everything else was just a hobby of mine. And it stuck with me since I was very, very young. I used to perform in schools. I used to perform at talent shows, just singing all the time, singing in choir.
Who were you singing? I want to know, who were you singing then? Because, you know, you have Usher, Eminem there, and then you have, you know, the boys and, you know, the first generation, second generation, you know, K-pop, idols and bands who have influenced you. Who were you singing?
At the time, I mean, obviously I would sing a lot of Chris Brown songs. I sang a lot of Neo songs. I remember specifically there was a talent show in high school, and the first song I performed was a song called So Sick by Neo. And that was one of the songs that I performed in front of the whole school. And it got me to realize, wow, I love performing. Like, I used to do it when I was very young, but I was mostly forced by my music teacher, singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on a Christmas concert. I never really liked it, but you know, I didn't mind it. But it was the first time actually performing a song that I wanted to sing, and doing that in front of people, and the audience applauding and the feedback. I realized, wow, I want to do this for a living. Like, this is so much fun, and I wanted to keep going. And that stuck with me until the end of high school, and I realized, wow, I got to pursue music. And I looked for some schools, and I prepared myself, and I went to college and learned how to record, learned how to make music professionally. And from there, I just kept on working hard, and led me to doing this interview.
No, and it's amazing because, you know, you left home, you went to Canada, and you came back home to pursue music. And it's not an easy industry to break into. You know it as well. Yes. What has it been like till this moment now?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, like, coming back to Korea, it didn't feel like coming back home to me, because I left at such an early age. I was 4 years old. I literally had no memory of how this country was. And my whole life, I lived in Canada. I was a Canadian, and Canadian boy, just loved music. And it was after college and, you know, releasing a little bit of my songs online, I visited Korea one day, and I got to meet people that made music as well, who were already living in Korea, whom I met online through SoundCloud. And just looking at the scene, the music scene, and how people were, and how these friends I met were working on music, I just fell in love. And I was like, wow, I think I have to come to Korea. Like, there's nowhere else to go for me. I feel like this place has a spot for me to, you know, really settle into. And I packed up my bags. I told my parents, I'm going to Korea, I'm going to make music. And they were super supportive. The whole way they were always supportive, always telling me to chase my dreams. And having two older brothers who, you know, pursued arts as well as just like me, it gave me a lot of motivation to work hard, and yeah, that's how it came to be.
I want to know, what is the reaction of your brothers when they see you now on music videos, and, you know, what is it?
My oldest brother he's a painter, so he talks about a lot of the art. He talks about the artwork and the music videos. My younger brother, well, not younger brother, my second brother, he's a cook, so he kind of talks about more of like the business side of things, and my older brother talks about the more artist side of things. I can relate to both, but usually most of the time I'm talking with my oldest brother. Yeah, I mean, but I get a lot of influence from both, and I feel like I'm very lucky to have older brothers that support me that way. So.
But I must say you have a lot to show for since 2018. I mean, Thank You was already in top 20 even before you had like officially debuted, as they say. Yeah. 2021, you gave us Hide and Seek. People not seek, hide and seek.
Yes.
And now Nostalgia.
Yes.
On the other hand, you have been collaborating with other artists as well. You've been producer for IU's Lilac, or you've written for Baekhyun, Kai, NCT. So how's it like wearing such many different hats, yeah?
Yeah, I mean...
What are these hats?
These hats, I mean, just being a fan in general. Already I was such a fan of these artists, and I mean, living in Korea, you just get to know who these people are. They're everywhere, like everywhere you go out, you see the pictures and you hear their music playing, and just naturally I became a fan, and especially for artists like IU, I was a fan since I was in Canada. I listened to her music like literally ever since I was young, and I knew what kind of song she would like, and I knew what kind of I knew what kind of song I wanted her to sing. Does that make sense in a way? Just as a fan, and it would be amazing if she sang this melody this way or something like that. And I put that all into this one song that she requested me to write to. And yeah, it just somehow, I guess as just like a fan, it just came out what she wanted. And it was a dream come true for me. And other people as well. I mean, NCT friends, they're like the most humble dudes ever. They're much younger than me, but they're so much more talented. They're great people, and I was able to become much closer with them through recordings and just seeing them working on music together, and yeah, it's been a ride, and you can't forget others like JB as well, and I'm forever thankful for all of these people working with me, and I've learned so much from them that I was able to really portray these lessons that I've learned with them onto my own album too. So yeah, it's like a win-win for both of us.
So Junny, what a ride! What a ride it's been! And it's your sheer hard work, grit, and determination. I'm sure you get asked that question a lot. So I will also ask one obvious question.
Okay.
When was it like, of all the people that you worked with, and you were like, is that the name that I'm associated with? Did that moment happen? I'm sure several of those.
Oh yeah, continuously, every time. But I mean, to pick one, I mean, the biggest one for me is, I really gotta say IU was like, I mean, it's so obvious, right? I already told you I was such a big fan, and it was surreal. Even from my family, they knew how much of a fan I was, and they obviously know IU songs as well. And I didn't see them in person, like I didn't see their reaction in person, but my brothers were telling me, like, they were like mind blown, like, Junny's he's working on IU's album. It's crazy. And yeah, I just it felt great to let my family know. I did have to keep it really low key, like down low for a long time until it came out. And yeah, once it came out, I started getting a lot of messages and be like, congratulations, everyone were thanking me because they already knew how big of a fan I was. So yeah, I remember that happening.
You should be proud of it. And one more question I want to ask you. You write your own songs and you sing them. But when you're writing for others, because musicians come with their own ideologies, their own sensibilities, their own vibe, is it tougher or is it difficult? Because when you're writing for yourself, you know what you want. When you're writing for another, you need to get under, maybe their head, under the skin of their, character or music to understand. What is simpler? Is it tough?
Oh, amazing question. I gotta say though, working on my own songs is much, much more harder, which might be surprising for you. But most of the times, artists, I feel like, not only me, but we think a lot and we think way too much. And since it's our own song, there are so many things to consider, and we think and think and think, and we end up not being able to move forward sometimes, right? So working with other people, when I'm writing for others, they give me an idea. For instance, on a song on Bambi album, it's called Privacy. Baekhyun 님 was he would tell us like he wants a song that that really has what do you call it, like that groove, and he wants the whole topic to be something very private. He wanted to talk to a person and say, hey, like I think like I am very in love, let's say I'm very in love with you, and I want you to know like the things that other people might not know about. And so like as a for lovers, and that's such a great concept in general, and they would give me these kind of concepts and we would brainstorm with that like solid like foundation, you know what I mean? And that's such an easy way to write a song, and it's like a huge influence already. But for me, when I'm working on my own song, I don't know what I'm about to write. Like I don't know what to write about. I just want to write a song. But yeah, getting these guidelines of where to start, where to end, how long the song should be, or how the song should be structured, it's all kind of talked within the whole company and the artist and the songwriters. So it's a smoother process for sure.
I totally get that. I wish people would just give us a guidebook, because when I have to write for myself, I don't know what I'm writing. It's easier to write for someone else because you have the...
Exactly, right? Yeah, if someone tells you, oh, I want a song about, let's say, a water bottle, right? And you got it. I can write a song about water bottle, but I can never think of, I want to write a song about water bottle today. I would never think that way, right? So it's different. Yeah. It's very...
You know, how would you describe your music? As I said, that your music kind of, when I was listening to your music, I got that, you know, it's retro, it's dreamy, it makes me think. I'm an 80s kid, you know. Ooh. I mean, the 70s, 80s, and 90s are my vibe, you know, and I'm trying to get used to the different sounds, but I could relate with your music. If somebody was to ask you, describe your music, what would you say?
Wow, describe my music. I've been saying this a lot, but honesty is the most important for me. My music, I need it to be honest. As a songwriter, I tackle points of experiences that are not about me. I talk about other people's experiences too, right? So when I write about my own songs, I want it to be me, and I want it to be honest in general. And musically, I just want to show the listeners what I'm greatly influenced by, and I want them to feel, oh, so this is what Junny's been listening to, or this is what Junny likes. This is what kind of music that he likes, and I want that to show in my own music. And I feel like a combination of all these genres or types of songs, put them all together and I make a song out of it, it feels like that's gonna be who I am. And that's like that for all other artists. You know, we're all influenced by each other. And, but yeah, like you mentioned you're an 80s kid, so I am very, very glad, because I do have a lot of 80s vibes as well. And as a songwriter, we try to catch on to these new styles and what's hip and what's new. And I feel like the trend now is we're really trying to go back to the past a little bit more. And you see more of pop music heavily influenced by 80s music as well. And you hear that in a lot of the songs that are in the Billboard charts today. So yeah, I think that's a good point that you mentioned that. And my album does include a lot of that as well. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I.
I'm just so happy. I thought we had lost our music. I'm just so happy it's back. I'm just so happy. But you know, Judy, there's another question. It's like, it seems the world is listening to K-pop. It's yes. K-pop dominating the Billboard charts. It's dominating all the charts. Global. It's become a global phenomenon. Where do you see this going? As another musician and artist, where do you see this going? And I'm sure, you know, the thing is, the standards are so high that you have to just keep doing better than the last.
Exactly. I mean, how can you get better than this? Yeah, the Korean K-pop, it's crazy out there, and it's growing rapidly, and I love it. I love it so much. And what I think is, it's a great opportunity for even just other artists outside of K-pop too, who still make music in Korea. We're able to have a subgenre, you know, outside of K-pop, and we can get our music out there. And kind of what I wanted to do was show the world that, yeah, Korea has K-pop too, but at the same time, Korea can make really good pop music as well. And pop music doesn't have to be in English. It doesn't have to be in a certain language. Anything can be pop. It's popular music, right? So I love K-pop. I love all genres of music, but what I wanted to show is that there are other people who are very, very down-to-earth, hard-working songwriters and artists out here, that they do their own thing, and I feel like it's my responsibility in a way to really show them and give them a light, and give myself a light out there for the world to listen to. And I think I'm able to say that more confidently because I am a songwriter in K-pop as well. And if I wasn't that, it would be kind of wrong for me to tackle that kind of aspect of it. But as someone who's written for a lot of K-pop artists, I can proudly say, hey, like, there's more music that you guys can listen to, and these are great. This is great, as good as the K-pop stuff that's coming out. And I just can't wait to really, get that out there, out to the world.
It must have been fun growing up in Canada. There was music being made then also in Korea, but we were all dancing to R&B, pop, rock and roll, but American artists. Yes. And now, it's just turned over. Would you have ever thought?
Crazy. And I still don't even know. I want to visit Canada. I want to visit back home. I want to see it. I want to feel it. Because you only hear about the things, how great how big they are. But it just blows my mind to think people know about these artists and how BTS is, and the Squid Game and everything. It's surreal, and I think it's a great opportunity for all of us here, and it's a great opportunity for me to reach more listeners.
Absolutely. So, I was going through fan comments on your video. So let me read a few out. One comment was, his voice is so good. His songs, pure art. Second, Junny has been my best discovery this quarantine. Second, his music is what his music is what the world needs. Fourth, Junny, I will crawl to the ends of the world to see you perform. Oh. And I haven't made these up, huh? These are comments.
Real comments. Real comments. I believe you.
So awesome. So now the questions by them. They want a collaboration between you and Eric now.
Oh man, they have no idea. I want the same thing. I mean, I would love to work with Eric. He's probably on tour right now, so shout out to Eric. He's doing his thing over in the States, and such a nice guy. And I was part of a podcast that he was running. Yeah, it was called Get Real, and I also went on the Taebak show. He hosts that show as well, and yeah, we talked, and he's such a humble person, and I am hugely influenced by how he is just as a person. He's in a similar situation as me. He grew up overseas his whole life. He came to Korea, and he's become so successful, and he's still pursuing his dreams, and he's still trying to go to that next step, and I can't respect him enough. It's amazing what he does, and we'd love to work with him. Probably when his tour ends, I'm probably gonna message him, and maybe we'll work on a song together. Maybe I'll write a song for him someday, and it would be great. Yeah, look forward to that.
Manifest that writer. Yeah. Another question is singers and groups whose music you have been impressed and influenced by.
Oh, wow, a lot. But recently, these days, I've been very influenced by just pop artists in general. Justin Bieber is one of the greatest influences that I've been having recently. In terms of album and the storytelling aspects and the details, I've been listening to a lot of The Weeknd. The Weeknd his music is just, it just takes me somewhere, and his whole album is it's a whole experience. Not just a collection of great songs, but not only that, but he tells a whole story, and I really was heavily influenced by that, and I decided to make my own album that way as well. And if you listen to it, you're gonna know exactly what I mean. And I mean, who else that I can name? I mean, there's just so many talented artists out there, and yeah, just new artists that I'm finding each day. I love finding new people, finding new artists, and listening to them, and I'm influenced by all. And I think that's what makes me who I am, and I think that's why the album's called Blanc or Blanc, because I'm taking all of these colors and I'm, painting myself into just one person to call Junny, and that's what I've been doing.
The question is a song that's stuck in your head all the time.
All the time.
Like an earworm.
Wow, that's tough, but wow, Right now, these days, I've been, wow. I'm listening to a lot of old songs that came out, not old, but like past songs, maybe like that's been released the last like 5 years. And I've been listening to a lot of like Paris in the Rain, a lot of Bruno Major songs, like there's songs like Regent's Park or Nothing. If you're familiar with Bruno Major, he's an amazing artist too. Yeah, just I've been listening to a lot of calm, soothing songs. Maybe that's because I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted from working hard. Yeah, I just want to hear easy listening songs these days. So, yeah, that's what I've been listening to these days.
If you were a song, which one would that be?
If I was a song? If I was a song, which song would I be?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's really good. That's a really good question. I want to answer this in a perfect way as possible, but my mind right now, or like my mindset right now is I want to enjoy every day like it's my last. And it's really weird to say this, but you never know what may happen in the future, and I want to enjoy what I'm doing now. And obviously, the future is most important, but the present is where I'm living. And I want to be happy. I want to make good music, meet good people, just like you. And so I gotta say, like, really just, you know, just uplifting tunes is what I would call myself right now. And I gotta say, like, Peaches with Justin Bieber is one of the most uplifting songs I've ever heard. So that's me right now at this situation, at this moment.
And lastly, you grew up in Canada, and there are a lot of Indians there. Any Indian music that you've heard, artists?
Wow, you're right. There's a huge Indian population in Canada, especially where I grew up. I grew up in a place called Surrey, BC. It's near Vancouver. But wow, crazy. I'm not familiar with any singers. Recommend me some. I'll be down to listen.
I'll send you a long list of, since you are 80s and, you know, the 70s and 80s vibe with you, I shall send you a list of composers that you could listen to.
Wow.
And it would be nice to see you collaborate with the ones we have now, and they would be more than happy.
Crazy, I would love to, definitely. I mean, I love listening to new music, and I realized that not just English songs, I mean, there's just so much good songs out there, and I've been listening to some fan recommendations these days, and crazy. Please send me. I would love to.
Of course, we have Arman Malik, Amal Malik, a whole lot of singers. I'm sure it would be fun to see you and them collaborate as well. But thank you so much, Junny. Thank you so much for speaking to me. And I hope we can see you in India someday.
Yes, please have me anytime. I'm on my way there.
Come soon. And as the Indians would say namaste, Koreans would say Kamsahamnida.
Kamsahamnida, namaste.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Junny. All the very best. Looking forward to it back.
You too. Yeah, Blanc. I hope you enjoy. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.